bitch, I wanna party like Chris Farley.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to an episode of Night Call. So, I tried streaming this yesterday, but what ended up happening was it didn't work. It literally, the part night 2 deleted itself. But I'll tell you what happened. Literally nothing happened. Literally, luckily there was no new info given, or there was like new evidence, but like I didn't even get a chance to go over it because we ran out of time before going to sleep. So nothing really happened. Kind of just got more money, luckily. So we're going to be starting night 3, even though it's technically just, you know, night 2. So I'm going to continue with night 3, even though, like I said, it's night 2. So yeah. So my channel, I'm just pulling up the chat here just to make sure. So, you open one eye. Someone flushes the toilet and you hear the pipe shake. One of them runs under your bed. You found the sound calming. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. I do have to get to a general. What do those eyes mean? Go to what this eye is. Maybe it's like an eyewitness. You drive along a strange burnt smell suddenly fills the cab. You're gonna sniff. Is it coming from outside? Park. As soon as you see a free spot, you pull over and park. You freeze. Something or someone is in your taxi. A woman's voice resonates around the cab. I can't. I need a better signal. I'm here. You turn around so a young one has appeared behind you. Don't shout. I'm afraid I'll lose the connection. I don't have much time. There's something different about her face, as if she's is several people at once. Listen to me carefully. I come from the future, and you must know that you met... She stops moving like a computer glitch. She stays this way, still frozen. She suddenly starts moving again. They're extremists, totally crazy. Some try to get a hold of anything remotely technological only to destroy it. They gathered heaps of screens, keyboards, lamps to burn. The fire lasts for days. The sky. Some days it gets filled with toxic soot, black ash. She shrugs. I'm lucky, I guess. I can remember what it was like before. They're children, though. I feel most sorry for them. They're so lifeless. Sad. She looks at you. You look surprised, but the image of her flicker shakes. She raises her hand to speak to someone inside the cab. But they're getting closer. I don't know if I can stay much longer. I have to tell you one more thing. A few days ago, we got our hands on some newspapers from your time. She looks down. Everything seems so trivial. And it felt so good. We laughed about it even though deep down. I miss those debate stories and electorals. She lowers her voice, especially the horoscopes. She doesn't say anything for a few seconds. Say nothing. She eventually raises her head. I have to tell you something. While reading those newspapers, we found some crucial information related to your investigation. She closes her eye. Now don't try to. I can't tell you much. But I need you to write down what I'm about to say. She disappears. A few seconds go by and she doesn't come back. Hello? No answer. Silence reigns in the cab, terrifying silence. Only now you know a strange smell floating in your taxi. A hospital smell. Pull over. You park as soon as you find a free spot. You attempt to get a hold of yourself. The radio starts to crackle despite the interference you make with the young woman's voice. I'm sorry. I can't come back. You hear someone screaming in the background. They're taking our antenna apart. Shit. Watch the files, not those. Roz, the other ones. Her voice sounds so far away for a minute, then gets closer. We had enough time to send you something. I don't know if it could be of any help, but it's under the seat. No answer. Her voice suddenly stops. The radio starts playing like usual again. Turn your eyes to the passenger seat. How could you possibly put something under the seat? Plus, you got your car wash of someone if you had. Look under the seat. You lean over towards the passenger seat. You feel around. And your fingers hit upon a file. You pull it out slowly. Put it upon the front of a thick red pen says, "Thank you, Jay." You open up a newspaper clipping. The paper is yellowed, worn. Top of the article, the day from 2 years from now. You start breathing as you start reading the clipping. New clue. You inhale, you smell. Okay, I have to do a... let me go here. At least we found something. Sure. In your next passenger gets into a cab like the old man returning to his armchair, grunts and groans. After what seems like several minutes, he settles himself in and delicately fastens across his chest. Looking in the mirror, you notice the man's age was with surprise. Older than 25. Howdy. You got the address right. Palace de Congress? Maybe like Palace, I don't know, like something of Congress? Bingo, let's roll, dude. You smile yourself and turn the key into ignition. After a few moments of silence, you can hear the passenger moaning softly to himself, apparently in pain. Conference at this time of night. Right, I told him it was a stupid idea. Counterculture my ass. If you hold your conference in the middle of the night to look cool, you're gonna look cool on your own. And again, here I am making my way across town, feeling like I got ambushed by a bunch of sledgehammer salesmen just to get there. So I guess the joke's on me, right? He smiles under his hood. You look back at him. His eyes are hidden beneath the hood, but his whole body is curled into himself. He looks terrified. Are you sure you're okay? Just pre-show jitters. He laughs unconvincingly. Who am I kidding? I'm scared out of my mind. Literally, ha. Scared. Technophobia? 9. That's where we're going. Every biohacker, transhumanist, and futurologist worth his cryptocurrency will be there. I'm giving a talk, the closing talk, in fact. Sounds like a big deal. Oh man, it is. Someone even saw Mitnick there yesterday, I mean, the Condor himself. The name means nothing to you, but your passenger looks positively starstruck. Me showing off my work to the who's who, man. The cream. A huge grin splits his face, and an instant before he groans again, he digs his elbows deep into the seat. And all it took was a little brain surgery. You're recovering from brain surgery? I certainly hope so. He points to his head. Although we only completed the procedure a few days ago. Too early to tell at this point. That's the real reason I'm fucking scared, if I'm honest. I did this to myself. He gestures towards the current state. Designed a new kind of brain implant, one that can access everything. The unlimited learning potential of the media web, mind gate between brain and the cloud. The cloud? You got one of those smart speakers? No. But you're aware of the concept machine learning, the Internet of Things. More or less. He jabs a finger at you. That. You take a turn to see the lights of the conference center. The problem is... He dips into silence for a second. Have you ever felt like... I don't know. You hear his teeth clicking. Like he's weighing something up. Have you ever felt like... My controller disconnected. Okay. Have you ever felt that there's some something else in the darkness behind your eyes? Some voice telling you what to do? The night with Adi. That one specific minute. I felt like you were going through the motions while something was at wheel. Telling her to call the cops. Telling her to lock herself up in the bedroom. Telling her to follow your lead. Sometimes instincts take over, guides our hands. Instinct, right. It's just that since the OP started hearing, starts seeing. He leans forward and his hood falls from his face. Don't think I'm alone. I'm in here anymore. A jagged track mark of a scar winds across his hairline, but his eyes really scare you. One is completely dark, pupil brown. The other is a milky white. The figure unfastens himself and exits in one fluid movement. You watch it disappear into the crowd before turning the key and driving away. I need £29. I think that's pound. I don't know. What? Euro? Do they euro in France? Or did you use... Pound is Britain. Do you use euro, I assume? I don't know what the E stands for. So, yeah. Sure. You mean recognize a passenger who just climbed to the backseat of your cab. His face is plastered with the news for the past few weeks. He's a lawyer. A lawyer who is representing a terrorist. He gives you an address and you start driving. You hold your gaze in the rearview mirror like he's trying to read your mind. You drive across a virtually empty Paris. Behind you, a lawyer nervously consults his notes. Everything okay? He answers without looking up. Yes. You get the message and leave him alone. You continue driving without saying a word. Your passenger mutters, "Ugh, why did he have to say that to the cops?" He's not taking this seriously, doesn't get it. Idiot. There again, he says it again. Is he contradicting himself or just... You glance in the mirror, the lawyer looks like a smaller version of himself. Are you sure everything's alright? He closes his eyes and remains silent for a while. You see him start to break. I can't take it anymore. He takes a deep breath, loses control of his voice. This guy is a real asshole. He's not just a monster, he's a total idiot. Tears form at the corners of his eyes. I've never seen such a moronic defendant. You know, like a defendant. You know what it's like to defend a moron. You know what it's like to only get 3 hours of sleep at night so you can defend a fucking moron. Do you have any idea? He yells so loudly the windows shake. I'm sorry. When he answers, his voice is icy cold. No need to apologize. There's nothing to be sorry about. He pauses barely, just enough time to take a deep breath. Jesus fucking effing Christ already. He kicks his seat in front of him. Jesus! He calms himself down. He steadies his breath. I'm the one who agreed to it. I actually fought to represent him. It's my own damn fault I'm being dragged through the mud. He raises his hand, snickers. Yeah, I'll admit at first I thought it was a pretty great. Being on TV, I interview journalists, asking my opinion about everything. I shook so many hands, said so many words, and yet I actually said nothing. When I worked in the hood, not a single person cared about my work. And now, in 5 hours, I have to be on the radio, in 7, on TV. He pauses, breathes. His voice sounds further and further away. He's trying to get some rest. He chuckles. Rest? No way. Actually, it's simple. I almost never need sleep. When I lie in bed, I stare at the ceiling and go over the evidence in my head. He sits up. It's barbaric, disgusting, so horrific it's almost unreal. He lets out a sigh from somewhere deep in his body. And then I discover my client brought nails. Then I discovered my client bought nails, the nails that were in the bombs at the corner market, and he kept the receipt. He kept the fucking receipt. Folding it in half and slipped into his wallet. That's what I see when I close my eyes. Disemboweled bodies and a receipt for €2 worth of nails. So it is euros. Why? He raises his head quite high. Why, for God's sake? He thought he could expense it when he got to heaven. He pauses. So stupid and so dangerous. He disgusts me. He revolts me. Why defend him then? Because everyone has a right to an attorney, everyone without an exception. Otherwise, justice is no longer just. His fit of rage subsides, his fingers are shaking. When I sang down, I thought I'd be representing someone crazy and find out he's just a moron who played too many video games. The guy has never read the holy book, they just justify their own so ass of Miriam. I said read it so wrong. He read a few passages online. Do you have any idea what a complete moron he is? He chuckles. I'm sorry. I'm truly. I shouldn't have said all that. He takes a deep breath. I don't have anyone else to talk with about. All the other lawyers avoid me like the plague. My mother can't even understand why I'm doing this. She's so ashamed. She went back to Algeria. She is shaking. Or he. I don't know. I get the shame. Why I don't get it when people just lump things together. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a murderer. He sighs and rubs his eyes. He's looking like he's about to cry. He starts talking again in a much softer voice. We could hang him right here. Right now, and no one, I'm telling you, would shed a tear. He stays quiet for a moment, catches your gaze. That's why keep doing this. He slows his breathing. For equality, our country was founded on it. These rights have been abused far too often for me to look the other way. His anger seems to be lifting. The taxi has almost reached his destination. In the back seat, the lawyer is much calmer. His voice is soft. I need to be reminded of this. He will serve as a lesson. He looks at you in the mirror and bores into you with his gaze. It's odd, isn't it? That I ran into you tonight. I mean, as if. No, forget it. You pull over, he pays his fare. Wait, don't take this the wrong way, but he hands you another bill. Here, this is for you for listening. Hear what I had to say. You slide the bill into your pocket. He looks relieved, gathers the belongings strewn across his back seat. He gets out of the cab, you realize he left an envelope behind. For a second, only enticing you hesitate. It could be something important. Saying nothing. Gets out of the taxi, walks a few steps away, and turns around to wave at you before the bistro. No clue. You turn around and grab the envelope your suspect left behind. You open it, and when you get home tonight, you drove off. That's €20. So I'm gonna go get some gas. Because I need gas, otherwise a woman is quickly walking the street, she sees you, pauses, then keeps walking. May as well fill it up. You walk into the mini mart. The guy behind the counter doesn't even look at you when he starts to talk in a lazy, lifeless tone. Yes. Paper, Versailles. Cash, cash, cash. I want to buy a cash, cash, cash. You sigh. I could buy a newspaper for 4. Talk with the clerk. You have read the papers. He's all they're talking about. Just enough hand comment casually brought up about a serial killer. The guy behind the counter seems like he's interested in the case. Good night, I guess. You nod and exit the shop. Leave the station, get into your taxi, and drive away. Go to this person. These eyes, because I mean, they're kind of like new clues almost. There's a taste in your mouth, iron, blood, 2 fingers on your lips let you know everything is fine. You shake your head. It's in Paris. What? Okay. Read the newspaper. Pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start to leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. And sure, a rather tense article, journalist explains that the 2000s American-style coffee shop just opened in Paris. She regrets the disappearance of real authentic bistros. You sigh. You turn the page and stop. You read about a third one of the newspaper. Keep reading. You stop reading and go back a few pages. You thought you saw something. It's a sensationalist article about the third victim, Simon Gordge something. He is thought to have escaped Argentina in the 1980s because he was a murderer of a process. The military dictatorship that had been in power. Pretty important information in your opinion. You only have a third left to read. Read the whole thing. As soon as you get to the page you stop, the instinct tells you to look at it. In the corner of one page, ongoing protests in the small South American country of French Guiana, I cannot read, have been paralyzing the territory for 2 months. I'm sorry if you guys take offense to me reading something wrong, but I'm trying. You raise your head. Until now, you heard nothing about these protests. You shut the newspaper, it'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there, otherwise you'll spend the rest of his days in the glove department. May as well go. You know. It's the last train I'm going to. Sure. You pull up to the sidewalk and pick up the stranger who ordered a cab. You can't just make him out. Surrounded by 5 or 6 cops and all 15. Every so often, anonymous tones of an officer's voice make it into your ear. Circle of cops breaks up. You see a passenger. He heads over to the cab and gets in. He slams the door and lets rip. Motherfucking cops. He gives you his address and you start the car. The passenger stares at the window at the passing road as if to calm himself. You take a quick look in the rearview mirror. Is everything alright? Yeah, sure. They're afraid to lay a finger on us nowadays. Don't want to get blown up. An ironic half smile appears in his face, then immediately disappears. He knows a bad joke when he hears one. Fucking pain in the ass. Can't go out without getting screwed by each and every one of those son of a bitches. If you're not wearing a goddamn beret, if you have happened to be wearing sweatpants, then yeah, right, you're a fucking hood. He smirks wearily, then raises his voice an octave. Your papers, please. He sighs, his voice back to normal. Yeah, sure. Shove your aunt's cock up your frickin' ass, buddy. Always the same old thing, isn't it? The passenger looks at you and lets out a bitter laugh. You say that again, even the Arabs treat us like shit when they're wearing a uniform. A slow smile spreads over his face. And you know what's worse? He pulls a paper back out of his pocket. I got an achievement. He told you he was bringing the Court of Monte Cristo. Okay. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Drums. You wouldn't believe it was my book. He turns into his pocket right away. For a second you wonder if you imagined it. The first thing they asked me was where I'd stolen it. You know, like there's no way I could own a book. Then the bastards took the book and flipped through it every single page to make sure I wasn't hiding anything like hash or some other shit. He flinches. Something about his feature breaks. A crack has appeared. He's trying not to show it, but you can see what's going on. He can't help but the inner struggle. The humiliation. The sense of shame. It's just a book. Do you like it? He looks up. Yeah, it's kind of like a, a revenge story. Like all Hollywood movies we download so we don't have to pay for a ticket. Except that takes place 200 years ago. And yeah, it's good. It really sucks when it happens to the hero guy, as he spends the whole book planning his revenge big time. The guy's pretty messed up. He catches your eye in the rearview mirror. He realizes he's not worked up anymore. It's my girlfriend who gave it to me. Well, believe me, man, it's pretty rough at first. First, she got me to read this book, Pride and something or other, some English book. Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, that's it. You read it too? Saw the movie a long time ago. Pause. They made a movie. Shit, I should have watched it. Didn't get through the whole thing, but she didn't mind it. After she got me to read something Belzic, and after the Count of Monte Cristo, she wanted me to read this book. He rolls his eyes. By some Belgian woman, I think. You shrug. Who my girlfriend says wrote a book about this Roman emperor and his boyfriend. He laughs to himself. I better not get caught by the cops with that one in my pocket, by my friends for that matter. He looks up, his eyes shining. She forced me a little, but then I realized on Monte Cristo, he's one of us. I mean, his story, it's not like what's going on today. But I introduced her to new stuff too. There are those texts, rap lyrics that she really likes. You should see her putting on a show and all, but the truth is she actually likes it. It's the same thing with reading, right? I mean, it had to be properly explained to me. I had to want to try it. And that's what it was, man. I was on my way. He looks down. Something seems to be bothering him. The only thing is, he hesitates. My girlfriend, she's a cop. Pretty weird, huh? She's 37 and gets me to read books for rich people, and she works for the local police. He gestures vaguely towards the someplace behind him. I was just at her place now. Man, she's one hell of a woman. She drives me crazy, she's so... He doesn't finish the sentence. Pull up to the address given by your fare. He lets out a sigh. You know, man, I don't know why the hell I just told you all that. No worries. Must be a real bummer, all these guys telling their life stories. The passenger passes you the money for the ride. I have to go. I have to punch nearly tomorrow. He pauses, eyeing the time on the radio's LCD display. Or later on, I should say. A moment later, he vanishes into the night. Like, clock out or oops. Passadex? What is it? Oh, it's all the people that we've seen. Okay. Let me go. I'm just gonna go to the witness thing, supposedly. The eye. You don't need to get more gas. Park a few streets away from the Argentine embassy. You wait there for your contact. You sigh, it seems out to have a contact so extensive. The guy is one of your regular poker buddies, a night watchman at the embassy. You get out of your taxi and walk towards the metal gate. Clean lines, early 20th century maybe, a lot of raw iron. The gate's opened and someone moves towards you. They indicate you should follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if it was... Follow. Walk into a narrow, covered passageway, probably the entrance to a parking garage. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. The lighter lights up a young man with a curly hair past skin. It looks young, very young. That would be 250 euros. For the intel? Yeah, for the intel. He laughs a strange guttural sound. What do you think that was, a date? You want information from Gutster? I got information on Gutster. That cost even 250 euros, so what would it be? Bargain. He raises his hands in front of his chest and then the aches and becomes stronger. No, it's 250 euros or nothing. If someone learns I fished around, they'll fire me on the spot. You see a disappointed young man's face, something holding him back. Okay, listen, give me 200 and we're good, okay? Your loss. The man walks by you, everyone shutting you aside, and keeps going. You hear the embassy door open and close with a heavy bang. Second later, you go back in taxi, you shake your head in disappointment. You start the car and get back to your shift. Well, good night. You met Janet? I lost money again. So I need to start taking more people's money, I guess. That was also because of gas. Everything is new. The evidence here. It took you a while to read everything carefully. You suddenly ever come with a dire sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers in your eyelids, and let out a yawn. Take your shoes up before getting to work. Police report. Look up at the evidence. Okay, so we got Herb. Matches looks into some wallet once again. Back to Kara's height and blood gloves and stuff. Then we got Claudio Camos matches to the scene too, wearing black gloves and the killer's height. Paired Bias, just still the same information. Rear gun and all that type of stuff, and then Simon Selm waited. Messenger 3. Once again, oh, but it seems like Herb has the most information so far on him. Everyone else doesn't, but then again, it's the most compelling evidence. Right now, I do think it's this Paul guy because he had the rare weapon. So. Selm's files. So I'm going to end the night here. Phone rings and you jump. You're not used to hearing it. No one ever calls you. Must be the bus set. Pick up. Pick up. Busted sounds irritated. You there? Yeah. Listen, it's... She pauses. You suddenly hear ruckus in the background. Noise at the station. Anyone got the time? Hey guys, anyone? Fuck, they're all Neanderthals here. Listen, it's early and I'm wiped out. So, are you, I bet. Let's get straight to the point. What do you have for me? In calm melodic voice, you give her the information evidence you collected. You start with the first suspect, they're connected to the victims, the rumors, and the second suspect, and so on. A few minutes in, she lets out a whistle. Not at all bad. Seriously, you should come and give the lesson to the zombies I work with. Alongside. I have some good news for you. We checked the alibi of one of the suspects I gave you. As you listen to her, you turn to the board and pull down the suspect she's referring to. So it's gotta be someone else. She snickers. You know how lucky you all are? I'm doing the job for you, pal. Okay, enough chit-chat. Gotta run. I'll call you in 2-3 days, okay? Understood. Good. Good doggy. I'm not a fucking dog! I'll call you in 3 days, and you better have what I need to make a proper arrest. The DA has fangs. We're pretty sure he's going into werewolf at some point. She babbles for a while. Her voice becomes softer, but just as sarcastic. That'll explain his terrible breath. Okay, I'm out. She hangs up. You hold the headset to your ear for a while, just to have one thing in mind, sleeping. And forgetting it all. So we're pulling down? With every hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed, your body aches, and you're in pain. You can tell that you need to get some more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. It's slowly filling you up. You wipe your hand over your face, like it'll tell you help sleep. Your fingers are shaking stress, probably. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. A second later, you're asleep. Well, this is going to be night 4. You'll want to, yeah, it's night 4. Get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to stop it here. I said it before in the previous. Make sure you go to like and below if to know it's like this one. And I'll see all you in the next one.